Thanks for listening to BYU-Idaho Radio. These are your evening headlines for Friday, the 22nd of November, 2024. I'm Kalen Wills. Combined BYU-Idaho choirs are recording a new album after nearly 20 years, and the community is invited to watch the recording. Ella Ziegler has the story.
For the first time since the early 2000s, the BYU-Idaho Music Department will release a Christmas album featuring combined BYU-Idaho choirs and the symphony orchestra. The album will feature new Christmas arrangements from BYU-Idaho faculty members performed by 250 students from the Collegiate Singers, Men's Chorus, Bella Voce, Vocal Union, and the Symphony Orchestra. Collegiate Singers director Dr. Randall Kempton is excited to release and perform the new arrangements.
We have terrific composers and arrangers on our campus who are writing something just for us. They know our groups well. They have designed these arrangements for our groups, and you can hear Joy to the World on it in 100 different arrangements on YouTube, but this one is written for BYU-Idaho.
The community is invited to watch the groups record live. They will perform Saturday at the Barris Concert Hall in 2 concerts at 4 and 7:30 p.m.
We perform so much better when we have an audience, live audience listening to us. And I really want our audiences to hear our music in the concert hall. It'll be a little different kind of concert because we'll be, having the audience hold their applause to give some, empty space for the recording, so we can have empty space or, silence on either side of the pieces. And we may even repeat a piece if we need to, if something didn't go right.
After the post-production, the album is expected to be ready before Christmas 2025 and will be released on music streaming services.
Don't wait for the recording. Actually be there as part of the experience because the orchestras and choirs sound so good in the Barris Concert Hall. You watching them perform and create the music live in front of you, that's so much different than listening to it on a recording. It's emotionally powerful, spiritually moving. Just being there in the hall with those people, sharing their witness of Christ at Christmas time.
You can find tickets for the event at tickets.byui.edu. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Ella Ziegler.
Grand Teton National Park has hosted more than 3.5 million visits this year, making 2024 the second busiest year ever for the park. 2021 holds the record with nearly 3.9 million visits for the year. The park says 4 of the last 10 months have been the second busiest months. Superintendent Chip Jenkins says visitor trends are changing. For example, more people are visiting the park in the spring and fall than ever before. And this summer trail use increased by about 16% compared to a decade ago. Idaho State Police arrested a man wanted for suspected robbery after a chase in Idaho Falls. Troopers say around 10:30 this morning, a trooper stopped a car for a turn signal violation on Highway 20 near Old Butte Road in Idaho Falls. After the trooper contacted the driver, he discovered the man was wanted on an outstanding warrant. That's when the driver took off in the car. The trooper followed and eventually troopers used a pit maneuver to stop the Mazda. When the car stopped, the driver tried to run away into a field, but troopers quickly stopped him. He had passengers in the car, including a woman and a juvenile who both received minor injuries. They were treated at the hospital and released. The driver faces several charges, including eluding, child endangerment, assault on an officer, and others stemming from his previous warrants. Thanks for making BYU-Idaho Radio a part of your evening routine. These have been your evening headlines for Friday, the 22nd of November, 2024. Take us along with you anywhere. Just search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast platform like SoundCloud, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Be informed, be inspired. Keep listening to BYU-Idaho Radio.